Happy holidays, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and I hope your friends and family are doing well too. I'm about to hop on the bike, go and get some lunch, and remember, today we're going to discuss an article I read online called When Depression Strikes Abroad. This is an article I saw on a website called Curiosity Travels by an American author named Jessica. I think it's pretty good, and I think it's pretty relevant this holiday season. Many people, suffer from depression during these times, so I think this is worth the talk. I'll link the article down below. I'm going to give my 2 cents on it, plus I'm going to talk about, like seasonal depression too. So see you at the restaurant. Alright, let's get something to eat and have a talk. So the article I'm going to discuss today, When Depression Strikes Abroad. I did a video a couple months ago about depression and some positive ways to deal with it. This holiday season, I normally get pretty blue, but I've been okay so far. Throughout this article, I'll talk about some of the things that I did to stay in good spirits, and I'll mention a couple of things that they weren't like the best for my my mood. This article goes into some of the depression and social anxiety issues that the author went through while living in Korea. She had previous experience of living abroad in Spain, but she moved to Korea, then like in a 2-3 month span, she experienced some mental health issues. Well, it's late December, and a lot of people unfortunately deal with some anxiety and some depression during these times. It could be an added hurdle if you're living abroad. I'll mention some of the 6 points that Jessica mentions in the article on how to deal with, depression and being abroad. Of course, I'll give, my, 2 cents on some of her points. So, another like D, perfect. I ate a lot of heavy food. I had lasagna for dinner, breakfast, and lunch in 2 days. So I got something a little healthier. Let me show you. It's got some vegetables, no rice, no noodles. It's a healthy meal. It's a lot less carbs and calories than I've been eating the past couple of days. You know what? I want to eat my delicious and healthy food. So, I'll get back to you in a second. That was good. Let's break down the 6 points that the author talks about in dealing with depression abroad. You know what? Let's do it over coffee. Off to the coffee shop. So Jessica's 6 points of getting through depression while abroad. Number 1, don't make excuses for your sadness. Blaming other things for why you are feeling down can just cause you to avoid confronting the situation. She does mention being in a colder climate than she's used to, drinking too much, and the cultural differences of being in Korea. I definitely don't see those as excuses. I see those as pretty valid points that could play on the psyche in a negative way. These issues could be highlighted if you're abroad, especially in a very foreign place. So yeah, these things can make the holiday season even tougher. With that being said, if you have chemical depression, then yeah, external things don't really matter too much. It's more of maybe seeking a professional help or going to a doctor or something. Okay, the things I do to combat, having depression or a negative state of mind during the holidays or outside of holidays is I try to have a good diet. Definitely cutting back on alcohol. I remember early December I went out a couple times and kind of partied a little too much, and it was fun at the time, but the next day, I just felt really depressed. I had a hangover, of course, but also it was this depression. It took me till like 5-6 in the evening for me to kind of get back to be feeling kind of normal and kind of keeping things in perspective more. So alcohol plays a big part in your mood, especially if you suffer from depression. Of course, getting a good night's sleep. I've been pretty good about getting a good night's sleep. They say you should get at least 8 hours. I've been pretty good. I get at least 7 to 8 hours. Some nights more than 7-8 hours. I've been pretty good with sleep this month. Exercise. I'm not really great with exercise, but I try to exercise as much as possible. I do stretches, and I ride my bike as much as I can. I didn't ride it today because I have to do shopping, but usually when I go to this coffee shop or go to the restaurant that I was just at, I usually ride my bicycle. And an extremely important thing to me is my coffee's coming. Yep. Coffee and water. Oh, there you go. Another very important thing is my daily meditation. That helps me keep things in perspective. For me, like a big source of my anxiety, depression, whatever, is not being in the present moment. You know, worrying about the future or thinking about stuff that happened in the past. Meditation, if you suffer from depression, you've never meditated before, I suggest it highly. It is really good for you to just kind of like be in the present moment and relax. Those things, along with being realistic of some things that are happening in your life, is a really good way to battle depression, especially during the holiday season. Number 2, don't be afraid to go ask for help. As the article says, just like you do when you suspect a possible physical health problem, go speak to a doctor if you feel mentally unwell. It's not a bad idea to go and get professional help if you're feeling really depressed. The author, Jessica, makes a really good point. She says that in some countries, Thailand, the doctors are really quick to like prescribe, medications. So it's always good to, talk to family, trust your instincts. And I suggest go on Google, and do some research on some medication and possible side effects and whatnot. But as we know, the internet isn't 100%, reliable. Also, you can always get a second opinion. So it's not always good to just like second, triple guess your doctor all the time, because you might talk yourself out of getting some possible help. Number 3, chart how you're feeling. This is a really good one. She says, being able to actually visualize the good days compared to the bad can be an easy way to come to terms with the possible problem. I've journaled before, but I've never like kept a calendar of just kind of like, things that happen throughout the day, possible triggers, and then, how I feel the next day, just to kind of see if there's any kind of pattern to, my mood the next day or during that day. Like I said earlier, I definitely saw a pattern with my drinking habits and my mental health. So I've cut back on drinking. New Year's Eve, I might partake a little more than I have been, but normally I've been pretty good with drinking. I had 1 beer on Christmas. Number 4, try and bite your tongue when it comes to expats' frustrations. I was very negative. I couldn't help but complain about all the things that bothered me in Korea. Yeah, definitely. Being a toxic expat is not only bad for the people around you, but it's definitely bad for yourself. If all you see around you are birds, all you see around you are just the negatives and just bad things and the people, that's definitely not good for your mood. And it's not a good way to make friends either. You can't blame people for not wanting to be around you. Venting is normal and healthy, but I don't know, unless you're someplace where you're in constant danger of being killed or ripped off, then you are in a bad place and maybe you need to get out. But for the most part, there's always something good about where you live, and you can't just get triggered about every single thing. Number 5, trust your gut about if it's time to go home or push through. This is a very important one. She says, if you know in your gut it would be best to go home, then do so. I'll summarize, but earlier in the article, she says that problems follow you no matter where you are. And I definitely agree with that. But, that's a big but, sometimes it's good to go back home. Being in a foreign country can really, really trigger issues that you have or have had in the past. So if you feel that your depression is getting worse or dangerous, it could be, of course, seek help, medical help, whatever, or professional help. But it might not be a bad idea to go back home, be in a familiar place, or surrounded by people that love you and have known you for a long time, and do some healing in your home country. I know it's not, always practical or logistically, an easy thing to do, just being away for years and going back home, which that stress alone can cause you a lot of depression and anxiety. Trust me, I know. And lastly, number 6, don't feel guilty. Not everything abroad will be cookie cutter perfect, and that's okay. Some people back home think I'm living like a carefree playboy life in Thailand, and that is far from the truth. I have a girlfriend, I have bills, I get root canals, I have flat tires, I feel sick, whatever. So, you know, life is life, no matter where you are. So basically what she's saying is if you're living abroad in some place where back home it's like 5 degrees below zero and it's 80 degrees where you are and you're sitting in a beautiful coffee shop, you know, enjoying a nice cup of coffee, don't feel bad to feel bad. Feeling bad is just, that's an internal thing, not an external thing. Okay, the battery's almost dead, so I need to change the battery and the shot's gonna look a little different. Be right back. Well, I was gonna change my battery. Either I dropped it or I left it at home. So I'm using a different camera right now. So sorry for the interruption. So in summary, I think this is a pretty decent article. Yeah, I mean, I'll throw my, I've said it already in the video, but I think, you know, it's good to use some of these tactics, but the one that's always the most important one is always see a doctor if things are bad. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter if you got a promotion, if you have a new baby, if you won $1 million. If you feel bad, like really bad, don't make excuses. Don't try to put things in perspective like, oh, things could be worse. Go and see a doctor. All right, if you're, you know, feeling kind of blue during this holiday season, if you're abroad or in your home country, please leave a comment below if you feel comfortable to on how you deal with it. Or if you found this helpful, or if you have any discrepancies on what I said or what the article says, please let me know down below. I'd love to hear your opinions, as always. So this wraps up the video. Next week is going to be 2020 New Year's. Yeah, also let me know down below what your holiday plans are. And if anyone checked out that live stream yesterday, that stellar live, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Please leave a comment below. It's just like a minute and a half just saying happy holidays, and I was out in the country, had a really nice time. Like I mentioned, I had lasagna, like a lot. We also installed Linux as a second OS on my old MacBook Air, so it was pretty exciting times, pretty wild and crazy times. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, click that bell, get notifications on new videos. I have over 70 so far. If you want to get a hold of me, click on the Instagram link down below. You can send me a direct message there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And also, if you like this video, recommend it to some friends. Let them know about the channel, about what's happening here. It's Unframed. It's Bruno Unframed. And I know this is a pretty serious subject, and by me making jokes, I'm not making light of a serious subject like depression. This is the way I approach things sometimes. So see you probably next week. Who knows, maybe a live stream will pop up, maybe not. And if a live stream doesn't pop up, I'll see you 2020. Be safe, be happy, be merry, do what you love. Keep things in perspective. If you need help, go and get help. And as always, no matter who you are or where you are, peace.